Hey everyone, welcome back to Urban Innovate Talks. And today's episode is titled Tesla versus Waymo. Sounds like a face-off, right? But actually, I'm not here to choose a winner. All I want is to explore two very different visions around autonomous mobility. We're talking about two big players in the space, but more than that, we're diving into two very fundamentally different approaches to automation. One is building smarter cars for individual owners, the other built around mobility services and fleets. A disclaimer though, this episode was recorded in April 2025. Technology evolves fast, so things may change quickly. There are some basics that we need to understand first in order to compare these two players. One is the levels of automation. They have been defined by the Society of Automotive Engineers, in short SAE. The society has defined 6 levels from 0 to 5 to define how automated or how autonomous a vehicle is. More or less, it describes how much the vehicle does on its own and how much you, the driver, still need to do. So for instance, level 0, no automation, you're fully in control. This doesn't exist anymore on the market. These are cars maybe that our grandparents were driving a while ago. Level 1 and 2, there's some driver assistance like cruise control, lane keeping. That's kind of the cars that you would buy now that will beep, that will assist you while you park or help you with your speed management on the highway. Level 3 is tricky. It's called conditional automation. So the car can drive itself, but the driver must always be ready to take over. You can see the challenge here in terms of reaction time and also liability, who is really in charge. Level 4, it's high automation. No driver is required in specific conditions or places. I'll come back to that later. And level 5 is full automation everywhere, all the time. It's still a far off goal. I don't know if we will reach that one day. I don't even know if we as humans can drive level 5. So other concept that is important to understand for this comparison between the two players is the operational design domain, ODD in short. That's a foundational piece. An ODD refers to the conditions where a vehicle's autonomous driving systems, ADS, can operate. This includes, for example, the geography. It could be a city, a neighborhood, area, geographical area. It can be a road type, for instance, on highway only. It can be a time of the day. It could be also under certain weather conditions or under certain speed ranges. So when a manufacturer says their vehicle is level 4, it only means it's level 4 within its defined ODD. Now, diving more into the comparison of actors and seeing how the industry of autonomous mobility is split into two camps, I like to use a graph. Horizontally, on the x-axis, you have the ODD, the operational design domain, meaning which conditions can drive a vehicle from very restricted to unlimited. On the vertical axis, on the y-axis, you have the level of automation, from low automation towards full automation. And what's interesting here is that the entire industry is kind of separated in two camps. One camp, one team, like the Tesla approach, is following an horizontal path. So it's trying to work on as many roads as possible, as many environments as possible, being in the city, on the highway, everywhere, even where the car hasn't been yet. But it's still expecting that a human is present and in charge. So here on this horizontal path, it's about selling a product, selling a vehicle, a smarter car, to individuals. It's what traditional automotive industry are selling. So they automate gradually their vehicles, but they want you to be able as a driver to drive everywhere. On the other side, the Waymo approach, Waymo being one of many, is going vertically. It means it starts directly with a very high level of automation, so-called level 4, in very specific areas. That's why if you go check on their website, you would see their different operation design domain in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, in Phoenix, etc. They always need this ODD to be defined and mapped. I will come back on that. It's also an important term to be able to deploy the services. And there, since they have level 4, they don't even need a driver. They did a lot of tests with safety driver, but now they are driving without anybody behind the wheel. You should definitely come to San Francisco to test that out. So these type of players are selling a service, ride-hailing services, or it's called also Robotaxi, when there is no driver behind the wheel. So we have two roads, two models. One focuses on consumer ownerships, selling cars, and the others on-demand services. And for the vertical path that is more focused on services, it opens new topic, new discussions that are needed in the area and that I'm super interested in and that I would love to dive more into detail within this webinar series. We need to talk about fleet management, supervision of the fleet, the regulation, the workforce deployment, because new jobs will be required to operate and to supervise these fleets, about cost models, business models. How do players make money out of that? And of course, the most important topic, how does these services integrate within the city? I'd be happy to hear from you which topics you would like me to focus next. I have many topics to speak about. Let me know if this episode helped you clarifying things for you. Don't hesitate to share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Drop a comment and don't forget to like, subscribe, etc. And of course, visit Urban Innovate's website to join our newsletter and growing community. Whether you are an expert or just curious about transportation, we'd love to have you with us. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.